Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Michaela and I'm going to do today with you a new pattern. I do not remember the name. I'm struggling with the names, I'm so sorry, but I just wanted, it's a twisted knot crop top which ties to the neck. So pretty, so easy. I just love these styles lately. So yeah, I'm really in love doing these new styles for the moment. So I'm actually going to show you. I've got here my two front pieces. This is one front piece and this is the other front piece. I did use same fabric for the lining and for the main fabric, and I've already placed my front pieces on top of each other. So main fabric on top of the lining, and I also marked already on my pattern where will be the twisted knot top. I've got here my back piece. The back piece is in one part. I did not do a lining. I'm going to do this pattern exactly like the Amanda top. If you wish to have a lining for the back piece in the Simona top, I've added the lining to the back piece, so you can always follow that up. I'm going to go ahead and start showing. I don't want to make the video actually too long. I've pinned, so the two sides, the two front pieces have to be done exactly the same until a certain point. So I've pinned all along like what would be kind of like starting the underarm area and all along what it will be in between the chest area. I've also pinned over here this part, but actually I will not be sewing the part which I've pinned. I pinned it just for the pieces which I've marked where will be the twisted knot. Yeah. And what I will actually first do, obviously if you watched any of my videos, I always like to do bust stitching first on my on the fabric. So I'm holding the fabrics together as I'm using I have a lot of I know you're going to probably ask why you keep using this fabric. I actually have a lot of fabric. I have a lot of sorry, I have a lot of this fabric which I don't like it so much. It's a great quality, but the print, it's not my favorite. So I'm actually yeah, using this for this fabric for testers. So that's why I use the same for lining and for main fabric, although these patterns with a twisting knot cannot be done reversible because of the stitch which requires they are down in the middle to connect these two parts. So that being said, I'm going to start doing first the bust stitching, and then I go ahead to my serger and I will be adding elastic. I will be serging it, adding elastic in the same time. If you do not have a serger, or yeah, if you don't want to use it, well, in case you do have one, it's not a problem. You can always just do a zigzag stitch with a normal sew machine. This is fine, and the elastic is always optional. I prefer it, to be honest, because it holds the fabrics better. I mean, the recovery and the support feels much better. So I'm almost done pinning this side as well, so it's easy. I am going to show you just one side, and then I will be doing everything else off camera from the other front piece, right? So I've pinned the two long pieces, and I will I'll be pinning until the part where I've marked on my fabric. Very important, when you'll be sewing, to be sewing in mirror, one right side, one left side. Okay, so let's start sewing. I've put a thread with a different color, so it's easier for you to see it. And actually, it's just the back color. So I have here for the bust stitching, I have here the longest length. I have the length thread, length stitch, and I try not to rush too much because stitching 2 layers of lycra can be sometimes very slippery, which in this case is. So I'm going to give it an extra care. Okay, it is almost done. It's a very long stitch. And like I told you before, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make, sorry, I didn't tell you before, I told you in another video. But if you've seen any of my other videos, first thing I'm doing these little cuts into the stitch. Why? Because this bust stitching is actually a straight stitch, so it does not have any elasticity. So of course I want to offer that. So normally the bust stitching is meant to be removed or cut through, I guess. This is what I'm always doing. Sometimes I do remove some small parts which I find hanging out, but most of the time I'm just making these cuts into it. So yes, I'm doing these little cuts on both sides, and then I go ahead to my serger and I'm going to add elastic in the same time I'm serging. Since this top is like really long to tie it to the neck, it's not necessary to add serger all the way. You can stop somewhere where you feel. I didn't really mark it on the pattern, but I'm thinking about here already you can actually stop serging. So I'm going ahead, adding the elastic. I do have an elastic guide, of course, which is great help. So about here I'm going to cut off the elastic. And as well I'm going to stitch this little piece as well. And in the same time, whilst I'm recording right now, I am going to stitch this little bit where I've marked. Yeah, I see now. So I've marked it on my pattern. It will be on the paper pattern as well, marked. This part is actually just for the twisted knot. You see this very tiny piece, right? So therefore I'm going to take the other pins out, and I'm going ahead and I'm going to serge that bit. I will not be adding elastic for this little part, right? But I like to serge it as well. So is this just this tiny piece? And now, next what I'm going to do, I'm going to continue with this side with the other very long curved side, right? And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing, like I said, mirroring, right, on my let's call it the right side. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to do this off camera. I will be coming back once I've stitched everything and show you the next steps. Okay, so I've serged all the pieces which I was already telling you for the both sides, and now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to turn one side on the right side of the fabric, and I'm going to use this loop turner because it's actually a very long part and I don't want to need too much time trying to turn it normally. You see, that was quite fast. So for the moment we will actually work just on this side. Sorry, I will turn the other side as well because first steps are always the same. And in the moment you're going to turn the two pieces on the right side, I want you to remember where will be your elastic serge. So for me, there are two ways of finding it out actually. One way is actually to look inside, because you will be using the top with you will have the elastic towards the exterior, right? You will be on you and the elastic will be towards the outside. So here, for example, this is where I've got the elastic, right? And therefore my other side will be exactly like that. Okay, so this next step we will be doing it for both sides, left and right. Of course, one I will be doing it off camera. So what you actually will be doing, you will be pinning the bottom part here like that, where the twisted knot part starts, and I will be doing a pass stitching first. Why is that? Because I want to secure the two layers of fabric, since I will be afterwards serging or stitching over 4 layers. Obviously it's much easier if you've tackled down 2 and 2. So I've pinned them almost completely now, right? And I'm going to do the bust stitching. And remember, you will have to do the bust stitching for the other part of the top, but just that. The other part does not repeat. It's not the same, it's a little bit different. The next step. sorry. Okay, that's already one side. Now I'm going ahead to do the other. Alright, so the same, since it's a bust stitching, I'm going to make these little cuts into the stitch once again. So the cut, you can do them about 2-3 centimeters apart. It's not a problem. Okay. So now the next step is, this is my elastic side, yes. So the next step will be, actually you will be taking this little piece and you will be going it over the other side, right? Just like that. And I will be pinning until where you have this little stitch there in the middle created already. So that will be your hole for the twisted knot. All right. I see that I wasn't like so synchronized, but I'll be trying with my sew machine. The same I like to actually do first a bust stitching before I go to my serger. For my serger, actually, I'm not adding elastic, I just serge it. Then once I've serged, I go once again over the stitch to secure the serged stitch. All right. So yeah, like I said, now I will be going over this little stitch, and then I will be cutting all these little threads around, which they're quite annoying. Okay, so now your top is looking like that, but when you will be twisting it like this, you've got already your little hole for the twisted knot part, right? So now off camera I will be doing a bust stitch on the bottom parts, okay? And once I'm done, I'll come back with showing you the next step. Okay, I've done the bust stitching on the other side, right? And then now the next part you have to take this little bit, let me just show it you. You have to take this little piece, and you actually have two options. You can go like that through it, sorry, no, you only have actually one option. You take it underneath, you place it from down till up. Sorry, I thought I could do it both ways. So you place it from down till up and you go over, and the same thing, we are going to stitch, well, first pin, then stitch, and then serge, And very important is that you don't get any of the fabric twisted in the inside there, right? So make sure that everything stays straight. Yes. And this is a moment where you can make the hole as small as you need. In case you're having problems with going over thicker parts, you can always use this hump jumper on your behind your presser foot, right? Then you'll be placing the fabric underneath. Sorry, I need to remove the little thing. So you'll be placing the fabric underneath like this, and then having the hump jumper in the back, so it practically lifts a little bit your foot. I've lost my threads. Lifts a little bit the foot, and then it can go over the first stitches. It just pushed behind already, so it's done its job. Anyways, my normal sew machine is actually really good with several layers of fabric. Okay, now the same, I'm going to serge it, and the same, I will not be adding elastic on this part. And I want to serge it as close as possible. Okay. And once again, I am going to secure this last bit of the stitch over here. Okay, and now you can trim the little threads, and okay, the front piece is almost ready. Starts looking very beautiful, and as you can see, I did the hole quite tiny, so it's not anything visual. So for the front piece, the only thing I'm going to do, let me check if my phone is right. The front piece, the only thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to do a bust stitching over these two sides to secure it, to be able to do it with to stitch it with my back piece. This I'll be doing it off camera, so it's just a straight stitch over the sides. And now I'm taking the back piece, and I'm going to turn it on the wrong side of the fabric, and on the upper part and the lower part I am going to add elastic. I'm going to go directly to my serger, and I'm going to add elastic. I'll be just doing one part just to show it to you. So in this moment I'm actually adding elastic with my hands, because I slightly pull it, not too much, just tiny bit, so I get a little crease. So when I will be folding inside, I will not get it waved. So for this next step, you can actually use a cover stitch or just simply a zigzag stitch with your normal sew machine. I'm actually using a zigzag stitch, which will have 3 stitched lengths, 3 stitched width, and I fold it like that inside. I'm feeling it with my fingers. There's not a lot of fabric rolling whatsoever. Okay, so the bottom part, I will be doing it with my off camera and the side stitches, and then once I'm done, I'll come back to show you the last step. Okay, so let's do this last step. I've got here my top, which I've turned it on the lining side of the fabric, let's call it like that. And sorry, I will actually have to turn it on the right side. So right side. So now I will be placing the this is my upper part and this is my lower part. So I'll be placing the back piece, and I'm going to pin just like this all along on both sides. You will repeat the same step. Now I'll be just doing it this side. So like before, I will be doing first a bust stitch, and then I will be going ahead to serge it. Okay. So this would be a great moment to use the hem jumper in case your sewing machine does not want to go over these different layers of fabric. So even my sewing machine needed a little push. If you don't have a hem jumper, what you can always do, you can always start a little lower and then go back and forth. Okay, so now I'm going ahead to my serger, and I'm going to do the same. I will serge it, and then I will go back and I will secure the stitch. I will be doing exactly the same thing on the other side, so that will be off camera. You will just have to so it's just a stitch securing like that, and now the same on the lower part. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, write me. If not, I wish you happy sewing.